a very good afternoon, good morning. Welcome to Crafters TV. My name is Ben Mosby. Thank you for joining us this Tuesday as we get ready for our first softer side of life of the new year. If I haven't yet seen you, I must just wish you a very happy new year. Hope your 2021 is going well so far. I'm never quite sure at what point you stop wishing people a happy new year, but I'll do it again anyway. And I tell you what, we have got a brilliant show coming up for you. So much to bring to you, and you can tell actually that you've missed us over the course of the festive period because so many things on this show have already sold out. In fact, I saw a comment on Facebook, on my Facebook page, just before I came on air, someone saying with the fabrics that we had on the show, hopefully you've got more on the show than those fabrics because most of them have already gone. Absolutely. We've got some beautiful fabrics on the show, but I think it's something like already had 24 sellouts before we've even come to air. I'll quickly show you the fabrics that we have got. If you've been looking at these gorgeous fabrics on our website, the Flutter fabric, then you need to be quick because 24 of these have already gone. We've still got available for you the sky, we've also got available the olive, and we've also got the chocolate as well. These are absolutely gorgeous, and you can understand why they've already flown out of the door. £3.19 or £4.79. It is a 20% saving, but I just wanted to give you the heads up on those before we got started because, as I say, 24 colour options have already gone. That is your olive still available. Absolutely beautiful colours. Love the pattern on there as well. And then you've got the sky available too. As I say, all £3.19 or £4.79, but we expect those to go as well because it has been a busy start to the show already. 20% saving on those. More fabric we've got on the show. We've got some fantastic builder buddies as well, but I'll just quickly show you the beautiful fabric that we've got here, which again is proving very popular indeed. The Country Yard. Now these by the half metre, so you're getting 3 half metres of gorgeous fabric. First up is your Country Yard. I'll just show you the gorgeous patterns that you've got on here. Take a look. Let me unfold it for you. I always get told off on softer side shows because, you know what, it's always beautifully presented on the table for me here, and then when I put it back, it never quite looks the same. But this is the first of the 3 that you're going to get. £7.18 or $10.18 should be $5.99 each or $8.49. You then also got within this collection the gorgeous Country Blooms. Again, take a look at that. So quirky, isn't it? Really love the design on this. Again, if you want to go for it, it's absolutely gorgeous. Love the colours. The Country, that one is the Country Blooms. And then we have got your deep florals as well, petite florals I should say. Go swiftly on these, as I say, because we're very busy right across the board on these. 3 half metres, $7.18 or $10.18 is your price on those. I have got a guest with me, don't worry, but I just wanted to kind of get all of the deals out to you before we get started because we're so busy. You've missed the softer side, I can tell. Now, these are my absolute fave on this show, and I know that you have already been taking advantage of these deals, but the Builder Buddies are just amazing. 27 dies in total. And I tell you what, I won't show you my Builder Buddies, but basically you've got these really cool multimedia dies which give you the ability to put together some really cute characters. Okay, so you've got Baxter Bear, you have got Chloe the cat, you've got Ruby the rabbit, and you've got Digby the dog. Everything you need to put those together, $34.99 or $46. It is a half price deal. Now you can see on screen there that we've got Ruby Rabbit and we've also got Chloe the cat, but whose hands are holding the characters? That's the question you're all asking. Well, I'm delighted to say that joining me for the 2 hours today, it is the lovely Bernie. Happy New Year!
Happy New Year, Ben. It's me. I've got hold of them. Oh, these are so cute. And I agree with you, Ben, as well. Happy New Year. I think normally it's like about the first week, isn't it? And then you get a bit like, oh, I'm going to say it again. You don't know whether to say it or not. So we'll go back to saying hello next week.
Absolutely. And I tell you what, how cute are these characters as well? Just love them. And it was me earlier on who was doing the puppet show with them, but it seems to be now that you're the one. But they're so cute, and you can't just help picking them up and playing with them, can you not? She's not even listening to me now. She's too busy playing
I'm
with
just
the characters.
playing quite nice. I'm looking at my other camera because I got my cameras mixed up earlier. So I'm looking at my other camera. I think, yeah, we can just play quite nice. We can play hide and seek. Look. Ooh. There we go. And they're just so addictive. They are really addictive. But I'm just quickly, can I just show you this, Ben, as well?
Oh, yes,
So I've got some other things to show you later on. But look, so this, using the dies, but this is as a 2D as well. So this is a little, like a dog feeding mat. So this is Digby the dog.
Digby the dog, yeah.
That's right, with his little bone. So it's just a little decorative. I think Zoe made this in the team. I think she did. If she's watching, let us know, Zoe. But isn't that fabulous? So they don't have to be 3D as well. If that's something that you're not into, you can actually use them as 2D as well to decorate. And I've got a fabulous quilt to show you later on, but I'm going to keep that one till I start demoing them, Ben.
And this is the thing, when I first saw these, I mean, obviously I picked up the characters like Bernie was doing there and started playing with them. But the point is you've got the ability with the dies that you're going to get within this collection to put together these really cute characters. But as you'll see with Bernie over the course of this show, there's so many other things that you can do as well. I'll just show you the full range that you've got here. So of course, you kind of get like your base die set, which allows you to create kind of the base of each character, which is the same. And then you get the add-ons, if you like, to be able to create the actual characters, if that makes sense. So that is Ruby Rabbit. And then as we've also met, here he is, look, Digby the dog. And how cute is this? Are you kidding me? He's got a little bone. I mean, come on, is that just not the cutest thing ever? And of course, with the fabric that we've got on the show as well, you've got the ability to be able to make cute little costumes for all of the characters as well. There's Digby looking very smart in his waistcoat. He loves a waistcoat. He's a man after my own heart. Then you've also got, of course, Chloe the cat, who we saw a few moments ago. Again, with the fabric that we've got on this show, you've got the ability, if you're making these for the kids to play with, to create, their own little wardrobes, which I think is so cool. Such a great idea. And then last but by no means least, you've got Baxter the bear, again, looking very, very trendy, very cool in his dungarees. And what we love about this, again, of course, is that you've kind of got the templates to make all of these characters and make them look exactly how you would want. So, for example, you've got Baxter the bear, but if you wanted to make a female version, you could have, she hasn't actually got a name, so let's call her Bernie. Bernie the bear. So do you know what I mean? So you get kind of 4 templates, but as you can see, very, very simple to be able to create your male and female bear, which I think is absolutely brilliant. Such a super easy system as well, because the fact is you get these multimedia dies that allow you to kind of cut out all the shapes. And then basically you can get on with the fun of creating these characters. And I think whether you're at sort of level 1 as far as your soft craft is concerned, or whether you're somebody who's much further down the line, you will whiz through making these, and how nice to be able to make these as gifts this year. I think they're absolutely brilliant. $34.99, it's a half price deal. You get the lot. It should be almost £80 or over $104. You get the lot today for that amazing price, $34.99. And just to say as well, you can only get your dog, Digby dog, and I nearly said Dexter, because I'm sure, were you calling him Dexter? He's definitely called Digby. Well, you call him what you want, to be honest with you. We were talking earlier on about Peppa Pig. That's why I'm getting confused. But definitely, Danny dog, isn't it, in Peppa Pig? He's Danny, he's Dexter, he's Digby, whatever you want. The rabbit is Ruby, not Rebecca. These two you can only get in the bundle. You cannot get them individually, but come on, actually, let's not mess around here. You want the lot, I know you do. How great to be able to create this amazing family. 10% of the stock is already gone. It's a half price deal that you will not want to miss out on. If you're wondering how easy it is to create these, we will be showing you very soon indeed. And also, like Bernie was saying, we've got the ability to show you different ways to be able to use the dies to not just create these characters. Now, if If you want to go for these individually, absolutely you can do, but get this deal whilst it's here. And also, if you've already got these in your life and you've made the characters, send in your pictures, please. We would love you to get in touch with us, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. That's the brilliant thing about watching us here on Crafters TV, is that you can send in the pictures to the live shows, and then we've got the ability then to share them with the rest of the world, which I think is fantastic. And also, of course, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can get commenting on the live video. And of course, any questions that you've got, we can answer them live on the show as well. Any comments, of course, too, you can get those in as well. Facebook and YouTube. And again, that email address, studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk. Few quick hellos. Patty from Michigan is watching. Mandy from Yorkshire, good morning to you. Sarah from Melbourne, Australia, always lovely to have you with us. Debbie from the Isle of Sheppey in Kent. Coletta from Kansas. Diana from Billsland. Ray Love and Michelle. And you know what? It's brilliant, isn't it? Just listing down all these people watching. We've got people watching here in the UK. We've got people watching in America. People watching in Australia as well. Truly international here at Crafters TV. Keep those comments coming in, and we'll read more as we head through the show. But let's get over to the creative side of the studio and see what Bernie is up to. So we're going to be looking at these Builder Buddies first of all, yeah?
We are, Ben. These they are lovely. They are really cute. And the thing is as well, you don't need a sewing machine to do them. You can actually do them by hand as well if you want. You're getting all of the dies in that set, which is the great reason to get the whole set.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to make Ruby the rabbit.
Is he your fave?
Today. I'm going to make Ruby, yeah, because I think she's really, really cute. And I'm going to show you how you make a little dress as well. The thing what you get in the set is you get a piece, a die set, which is called the body base. So what happens is, this, you need this. So you're going to have this as your base. You're going to make up the main part of the body. And then when you get the other ones out, so I've got the Ruby Rabbit one here. Yeah. In here, this is like an accessory set. So we're getting the dress, we're getting the ears to make the ears. This is to make a little carrot and a little heart as well. Now, what you could do is actually mix and match those. So if you've got, say, well, I suppose you don't want to put the bone on the rabbit.
Well, you
but
could
you might
do.
Want, well, you could do.
Why not?
But you might want to put the little heart on Chloe the cat as well. So you can mix and match them as well. And also, I think this one just looks like a little bit of like a tufty hair. So if you put, sorry, Baxter Bear, you want him to have a little tuft on the top of his head, you can. Yeah, you can have a little tuft on the top. So you can mix and match them as well. And also just use the shapes in a different way. Now, I know I promised, I was teasing you earlier, Ben, wasn't I? And I said I had some other ways of using them. I just want to quickly show you these first. So look at this, the little bear.
Cute.
How cute is that? So I was saying about doing it as 2D rather than 3D, but this one, he's got his little honey pot, and then we've got some little embroidered little bees all the way around the outside. So that's really cute in a hoop, and then you can just hang them up. My favourite sample of all of these is this.
Do we need a drum roll here?
A little drum roll. If we've got a drum roll, let me get it the right way. Look at this.
That is brilliant.
How fabulous is that?
Yeah.
So it's just a little quilt or a play mat. I mean, that's great for a play mat for a little bairn. That's me with me northern terms. A little bairn with your little children, and you've got that on there with just the rabbit's head and those little ears. So I just think that is just really, really cute, and it shows different ways to do them, because I think as crafters, we do that a lot, don't we? We look at, you know, I've got this here, we've given you the inspiration on the one thing you can make with it, but then when you start thinking of other things, of what you can do, I think the world's your oyster, isn't it?
I think, like you said, I get very much drawn into, and I said this before the show, when it says on the packaging that you make it like this, then you, in my mind, you almost get stuck in that mode of going, well, every time I use these guys, I have to make a little character. But, you know, you've just brilliantly pointed out there that there's so many different things that you can do. Obviously, they're there to build these amazing characters, but as we've seen, you know, for play mats, for quilts and all these other things, lots and lots of different things that you can do with the set. That's why I think it is a phenomenal deal. I just think the only problem you've got is which one you're going to make first. The rabbit's your favourite though, is it, Bernie?
It is. I'm loving the rabbit today. The other thing as well is you're not on your own after you buy it. So the majority of our products, there will be a video online for to help you how to put these together. For these, this is no exception. There is a video for every single set of dies for these. And also, there's also a printout.
Handy.
So I've got the Ruby Rabbit one here, and it's telling you what you need: fabric, felt, stuffing, a bit of glue, thread, embroidery, your die cutting machine, etc. So it's telling you everything you need on there. You're also getting this, and I think this is great because I've lost my heads. Let me get my heads. So you've got all the different heads to make.
Oh, okay.
And we give you a little template if you're not sure how to do a little bit. Oh, look, she's got a little bit of thread on there. There we go. A mascara had slipped a little bit.
I have that problem as well, Bernie, if I'm being honest with you, I think.
So you've got one of these templates on every one as well. So if you struggle, and I'm not a big embroiderer, but if you struggle on how to draw a face, we've given you that template to give you, a head start so you can do it. So let's see how you actually put them together. Let me move. I hope I've remembered the instructions. I'm sure I have. I've made Ruby's dress a few times. So. So the first thing you're going to do is get your body parts out. So for your body parts, you've got the body, which is here, and then this is the leg, and your arm and your head, and it tells you inside as well how many you need to cut.
Okay.
So again, that's straight away on the packaging, how many you need to cut. Obviously, if you're doing a 3D one, you're going to have 2 legs. So for 2 legs, you need 4 pieces, and the arms 4 pieces, etc.
And sorry, I know you've probably already explained this, but so this is the same for every animal that you make. You go back to this set every time, don't you?
Yes, exactly. So this is what you're going to end up with, and this is your body base. So this is why you need this one. And then what you're going to do, this is going to look a little bit strange and he's laid out like that, but you've got all of the pairs there. So what you're going to do is sew them together as per the instructions, and it'll tell you to leave a little bit of a gap just so you can put a little bit of stuffing in.
Yeah.
And the same on the legs, you're going to leave the top open, and the body, you're going to leave a hole in the top and a hole in the bottom for the legs and the head.
Got you.
Okay, so I'm going to jump ahead and go on to Ruby's outfit because I think that's the what people want to see, how to put the outfit together. And the other thing as well, sorry, is the ears. So in each of these sets, you get the ears. So this is the ears here for Ruby the Rabbit. And then what you're going to do is once you've embroidered that cute little face on a single head, so you'd have your head. I can get a single piece. So you'd have one side of your head, you're going to embroider your face on like that.
Yeah.
You're then going to make your ears up, and then you're going to sew your head pieces together, turn it through and pop a little bit of stuffing in. So don't worry if you haven't got any stuffing at home, just if you raid an old pillow or a cushion or something like that,
right,
or use one that you don't use anymore, and just use a little bit of that for the stuffing.
Oh, okay.
So you don't need to go out and buy, extra stuffing for it. And they don't take very much at all. So we've got our body. So here's one I made earlier. So we've got our body and we've got them stuffed, and we've got our arms and legs done, and we've got the head done. And then what you would do is you'd pop the legs in there. Now, there's a couple of ways to do this. You can either not put as much stuffing in and just go along the bottom of there with your sewing machine, and I would maybe put your zipper foot on, so that's quite a narrow foot.
Yeah.
So you could do that if you don't like a lot of hand sewn like I don't, so I would probably machine that. Because that's going to go underneath the clothes anyway, so you're not going to see that. Or you can just do a little whip stitch all the way around. And the legs, the arms, sorry, what you're going to do there is I would do a few little stitches on the arm, and then a few little stitches on there, and a few more together, and then that's going to put the arms on, and that's going to be enough for that. And then the head, again, you're just going to insert it into there like that, and you're going to do a whip stitch. Now what I would do is before you do any of the clothes, don't attach the head, attach that last, because what you'll do is put the clothes on first after you've made them, and then put the put the head on last.
Right.
So that's my little top tip. I think the instructions actually do tell you that way as well, but just in case you get to that point and you've made all the body up and then say, oh, well, I can't get the dress on, that's the way to go. We're going to put that on last. Right, so let's start. I haven't done any die cutting yet. Let's get to the die cutting. Let me just pop little Ruby over there and all my bits. But I say, I love to mix and match these. The other thing as well is you can do two-tone. So look at these legs I've done here. So I stitched some fabric together and some little felt. So these would look great on the bear, wouldn't they, on Baxter Bear?
Yeah.
If I turn that over, you can see where I've joined it and then I've cut it out. Similarly with these ones, I've put some pretty pink fabric on.
Yeah.
So it looks like, say, it could be a little ballet dancer,
Oh,
couldn't
I love
it?
that idea.
But then do it the opposite way.
Yeah.
It looks like they've got little leggings on
Oh, yes.
as well.
That's
so you
cute.
can mix and match the initial body as well. So you can mix and match all of those. So there we go. Right, so let's do some die cutting. So we've got the dress here, and this is what we're going to cut. I did have some, I have got some orange felt, so I'm going to cut a little carrot for her as well.
Aw.
And we've got the ears, and we need the carrot. In fact, let's go for all of it and cut them all out.
So basically what you're saying then is, as long as you've got a die cutting machine, you've got this system, you don't then need to invest in a sewing machine with this particular collection, do you?
No, you can do it by hand, and I think they do look really good in made in felt by hand. And you could even do where you did like a little blanket stitch around, or just a little whip stitch. You know, if you're going to cut a lot of these out, so you can get the children involved as well. So it's quite a good craft lesson. You know, if we've got to do lessons at home. You know, if you want a little crafty project, this will be ideal as well.
Yeah.
And I love it when, so that the children can choose which one they want to do as well and make their own accessories. So
hey, one of my New Year's resolutions was to get back sewing again. Now I got my foot pedal back from my sewing machine, which mysteriously went missing. I must say thank you to you, Bernie, actually, for fixing my machine as well.
I did loan it out on your behalf, though, to a lady in need who didn't have a foot pedal.
I know, I brought my machine in and Bernie was like, I fixed it for you, but you've lost your foot pedal.
It wasn't broken, Ben. It wasn't broken, but it works now.
Yeah,
it works
does.
now.
Thank you.
But yeah, so I did. It was a lady in need who needed to borrow Ben's foot pedal. He was very generous. Right, so I'm making Ruby's dress, and I'm going to use, and this Country Bloom, I love it. Anyone who's into houses will be thrilled with this fabric because it's brilliant. I absolutely love it. And you've got all, you know, the little florals on there, the little birds on there, little butterflies, more flowers, little leaves. It's just absolutely gorgeous. I was surprised when we actually had it in, because I got some of this a while ago when it first came out. I know I still haven't got to me die cutting. I'm terrible. So I made, with the range that we had, I made this quilt top. It's still a quilt top because I haven't got it stitched yet together as a quilt. But I made this with them, look. So if you if you get that 1/2 metre pack, so you get 1/2 metre of each one, put a couple of planes with it, you'll be able to make something like that. You've got more than enough.
What we'll say though is, I mean, gorgeous fabric. It is back on, as I understand it, a bit of a limited run. And the limited run is very quickly flying out the door. I think 1/4 of that stock has already gone there. So if you want to grab it, get it now whilst you can, because chances are you won't be able to get it again. And it's a fantastic deal, getting 3 1/2 meters for just over £7, I think it is. So £7.18, and they're normally £5.99 each. £10.18 is what you do play in the US. Fantastic value for money. So get those whilst you can. Oh yeah, if you're a platinum member, $5.74. Cool, blimey, or $8.14. That really is, in the whole scheme of things, a great deal, Bernie, isn't it? I mean, you know better than anybody.
It is. I mean, $7.99 for 1.5 meters of fabric?
Yeah.
Is fantastic.
Bonkers.
I mean, $7.99 is normally what you'd pay for a good quality 1/2 metre of fabric. So you get in that much is really good value. Right, I'm cracking on now, Ben. I'm going to do my die cutting.
Yes.
So I've got my fabric folded. Now, the dress you cut on the fold.
Yep.
And you need 4 pieces, but don't worry that you don't need to remember that because that's all in the instructions. And then I'm cutting a little heart out there. I've got a lovely piece of felt there that's just going to bring out that pink colour in the fabric. And that's what I like to do. If you look for a little colour and put another colour with it, that draws the colours out. So I've got everything here on my Gemini. So because I'm cutting multimedia dies, I've got my clear plate, I've got my metal plate, I've got my fabric, my dies cutting down.
Yep.
I've got my plastic shim and then another clear plate on top. So I'm going to pop that through. And again, in one pass, this is going through. Now, these actually fit on the Junior as well, the Junior plates. So if you have a Junior machine, they will fit through there as well. So I'm going to cut these out. Now, I've only cut one carrot out because I'm going to do it where you would just applique it on, but I'm actually going to use our Collel textile glue to glue that on, because I know we've got that on the show today. I have a few different favourite items. Another one is the textile glue.
Details coming up on your glue there. It is in fact bottom of the screen at £2.99 for a 100. We'll put that UK only though, unfortunately. But if you want to take advantage of that deal, bottom of your screen right now. There you go.
There we go. So let's get rid of all my bits there. So we've got the little heart there.
Aww.
We've got our little carrot. It's so cute. I've got the dress now. I've got the ears here, and I'm not going to stitch the ears, but what you do with the ears, I've done one side the same as the body base, and then I've done one side the same as the fabric. And if I just bring this one in, and it just shows you where, if you put the fabric on the underside there, it just gives it that little bit more detail. You could put them both plain, or you could put them both fabric. It's totally up to you. But I like to have just that little bit of fabric underneath. So you'd cut all them at the same time. I say I'll pop them aside because we're going to work on dress. Right, so the pattern tells you you need 4 pieces for the dress. So what this is, it's a quick way of sewing it together without having to do a lot of construction, if you like, because these projects are designed with in mind that you're not going to have a lot to think about, if you like. You're going to be able to get to the sewing quite quickly and make it quite quickly as well. Yeah. Because I think sometimes if something takes a long time, sometimes it can put you off a little bit. But with these, they're really easy. So what we're going to do is stitch around. We're going to stitch along the bottom and we're going to stitch along the top and down the side. Yep. Now you want to stitch, you want to leave a bit of space for some little armholes. So I'm just going to use, I've got my heat erasable pens, which I use for everything. It's probably going to be hard for you to see that on the camera. But I know we've got the pack of 3 on the show, which is the black, the red and the blue. So if you are working on a blue, you can use a different colour.
Details bottom of your screen there for those. 3 for £5.99, £7.95 if you want to grab those.
So I'm going to quickly just stitch along here.
Lots of lovely comments coming just whilst you're stitching. Glad to catch this one, says Katie on YouTube, hi from California. Still dark outside. Still be dark out there today, actually. Another miserable old day, isn't it? Good morning from California, says Fred. These critters are so cute. And Shadiah on Facebook says, Ben, Canadians watching too. Yes, top of the show. I did obviously mention that we had Australians watching, Americans, UK viewers. But yes, Shadiah in from Canada as well. Good morning from Maryland, says Fran. These are adorable. And Rosalind on Facebook says, I think I bought these dies just to have them in my stash. I love how many of you buy things and then end up sort of putting them away and then don't get them out or don't start to use them until they actually feature again on a show. That seems to happen quite a lot, Bernie, doesn't it?
I'm guilty.
Oh, are you?
I am guilty, yeah. I'll buy something and then think, I haven't bought that. And then I find it and think, oh, I did buy it. Yeah. So you end up with 2 lots. However, the good thing about that, Ben, is if they dies, it means you can double cut. So you know, like we've got our Bab expansion dies, that if you've already got the builder block, and you buy the expansion pack, you're cutting twice, so you can cut twice as many of these at the same time. So to me, it's a time-saving thing, really. Yeah. Nothing to do with just being too addicted to craft, because I'm guilty of that. Very guilty of that.
I think there's one or two others who are watching today who are addicted to craft. I must tell you, yesterday it was so funny because we were talking about New Year's resolutions, and the amount of our viewers who sort of said, oh, their New Year's resolution was to, maybe cut down on the spending just a little bit. And I think by the end of the first show yesterday, about 8 or 9 crafters had broken their New Year's resolution because they'd already bought something within about the first hour of the first show of the new year.
It's so easy to do.
Yeah.
The thing is as well, I mean, now we're looking at it's January sales, isn't it? So,
yeah.
we've got a brilliant sale going on the website as well. And then we've got our shows that we're bringing you that have got extra deals as well in there. So, right, so what I'm going to do now, Ben, just going to move them aside. I'm going to bring up my pressing mat. Now, I know we haven't got many of these left, and we haven't got any of this size left neither. We've got the small 8 by 8.5 by 8.5 wool pressing mat.
Yeah.
So this is mine from home, which is well used. I absolutely love my wool pressing mat. The one thing you never ever do is have it on your cutting mat. So I'm just going to move my cutting mat out the way, because what happens with these, the moisture is going to come through. So you don't want it on. So I know we've got the 8.5, and to be honest, the 8.5 one would probably be better, because I've got some nice small projects that I'm working on. So all I'm going to do is I've just turned them through. It looks a bit weird at the minute because I've got these raw edges, but what I'm going to do is stitch them together.
Okay.
And what the wool pressing mat does, it's drawn the heat through the mat, and it makes such a crisp. Once you've used one, you realise that you should have got one sooner.
I love your iron, by the way.
My little
Is that
cute
the world's
iron.
smallest iron?
So you have these a long time ago, but I don't think we've got them in. Stock now. They're good for little projects. So
Absolutely.
I'm just giving them a press.
You wouldn't want to iron your shirt with that, though, would you? No.
So, sorry, Ben, I didn't catch that because I was
you wouldn't want to iron
concentrating.
your shirt with that. It would take you a bit of a while.
I'll admit sometimes if I've got this iron in my sewing room and I need something ironing, I have got.
Oh, you have?
Instead of getting the ironing board out, I've got my pressing mat, so it's perfect. But that, honestly, I don't know how well you can tell on the screen, but that is crisp.
Yeah.
That is really crisp. So if you need yourself a little mat, I know we haven't got loads left.
We haven't. We've got literally, we've got a handful left. We're into single figures, so if you want to go for that, it's the smaller one as well, not the bigger size that Bernie had. It's 8.5 by 8.5 inches. Your Matt and Miss wool pressing mat. It really is last chance saloon to get those because we're down to sort of low single figures. $22.99 or $29.99. Of course, if you're platinum, you get another 20% off that. $18.39 or $23.99. But it's first come, first served on that.
Right, I'm almost finished my dress. So now I've put those two pieces together, and I'm going to stitch down these sides. Now, you could overlock this if you've got an overlocker, or if you haven't, then you do a straight stitch, then just go down with a zigzag or an overcasting stitch, whichever you prefer on your machine. But I'm just going to do a straight stitch for today. All right, so let's get that down. So I'm just doing a 1/4 inch seam. Again, it doesn't have to be too exact on something like this because it's not patchwork, so we haven't got to fit it to another piece. So there we go. So I've sewn on the sides. We'll pretend that I've zigzagged it. Okay. Right, and we're going to turn it through. And we have a finished dress. Now, I need to finish my little ends off there, but we've got the little dress finished. What I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to get the glue and I'm just going to put the little decorations on.
Okay.
So this is our Clal textile glue. So it's a 100 ml. I have had this forever. It lasts for ages. The one thing I would say is, I'm looking for a bit of paper. Hang on, let me get that. What I would say is just make sure that when you first go to squirt, just check that you're not going to get loads out, because I do that every time.
Oh, you get a massive blob.
Get a big massive blob on there. So I'm going to just put a little bit on the heart, and I'm going to pop that right up the top there. And then once that dries on there, and
that just stays. Do you have to iron that on or not?
No.
Oh.
No, I just let it dry. And then the little carrot, I don't know where I'm going to put the little carrot. I might not stick the little carrot on there because I'm going to spoil my house.
Yeah, you will.
But you've got the little carrot there that, again, you could just put that little bit on there. We could stick it to a hand, couldn't we?
Could do.
Yeah, we could stick it to a hand. There we go. So we've got that little bit carrot ready there. And then I'm just going to, don't look, Ben, I'm going to undress Ruby.
Whoa, avert your eyes now, everybody. Seriously. This is a family show, for goodness sake.
This one does go over the head. So we're gonna dress Ruby. I just need to get her arms out.
And the thing is, of course, because I've noticed with some of the characters I got over here, some of the characters have their clothes stitched to them, but there's nothing to say that you have to do that. So you could make loads of different costumes for them, couldn't you? And lots of, they could have their own little wardrobe potentially.
Yeah, exactly, and swap and change them. So with this one, if you're going to leave this on, you could actually leave it like that.
Yeah.
So you're not actually stitching the top, and then you can remove them. Or you could do a little bit of a stitch there. Or if you had some, I had some little bits of ribbon somewhere. Oh, I can't find it. So if you've got a little bit of ribbon, you could do like a little ribbon strap as well, but then it would stay on permanent. But I like that idea of you being able to swap and change them.
Yeah.
And then if we did have that little carrot, I'm gonna, in fact, I'll pin it on because I don't want to put.
But then there's nothing to stop you either. So you've got old, now I was going to call him Dexter, but it's Digby. You've got Digby the dog with his waistcoat, but then there's nothing to stop you then potentially, you know, giving the waistcoat to one of the other characters. So, you know, I know it's Chloe Cat, but you could have Chris the cat, couldn't you, with a little waistcoat on?
You could mix and match them.
Yeah.
So there, I've just pinned it on there, but you could stitch that on or glue it on, and then you're done, and then you can move on to your next one. So if you think, if you're multi-cutting these, and you make loads of bodies, and sit and do all the legs, sew them all, and then you can sit all the night in front of a movie, putting all the stuffing in, and then make all the different outfits, and then if your children are, you know, they can do like dressing up, you know, like you say as well, you can swap and change. I think Ruby would look great with the dungarees as well of the bear.
Yeah.
So is it the bear or the dog? Yeah, the dog's got the waistcoat. But yeah, so you can mix and match as well. And that's how easy they are. So I just think they're just so cute.
I absolutely love them. And again, what I love is that you can watch us now live, watch the demos and see how easy it is to put these characters together. And I love the fact as well that, do you know what, you know, if you've already got your Gemini, your die cutting machine, you don't then need to go and buy a sewing machine if you don't want to. If you don't already have one, because these are multimedia dies, you can use these, of course, with your die cutting machines, and then away you go. And a lot of people, I think, are sort of saying today that, you know, actually they're watching Softer Side for the first time. Maybe we've got people thinking about taking up Softcraft. This is a brilliant place to start. It absolutely is. Fran saying these are adorable. Pamela saying on Facebook, Bernie, you are a fantastic teacher. Thank you. Here we go. I'm a total beginner. I've owned a sewing machine for years, but was too timid to even try to use it. You have a way about you that takes the intimidation away, which is amazing. And Lynn says, I have these dies, but not used them yet. Well, hopefully today is the day to use them. And let's just reiterate the really cute little characters that you can make, because I absolutely love these. So as we've said, you've got Chloe the cat, but there's no reason that Chloe the cat couldn't then just become Chris the cat, because you can obviously change what they wear. So, you know, you could have Digby the dog there, he's got the waistcoat, you could pop that on the cat, and all of a sudden, you know, you've got a cat in a waistcoat, which I think is absolutely brilliant. By the way, you know, obviously our rabbit there, Rebecca Rabbit, comes with a little carrot. I mean, how cool is Rebecca? But look at little Digby's got a little bone. I mean, come on, how cute is that? Seriously. So you've got the dog, you've got the cat, you've got the little rabbit as well, and you've also got Baxter the bear, and those are the dungarees that Bernie was talking about just a few moments ago. But the dungarees would look great on any of the characters, and as you said, the fact that you've got your kind of your base dies, if you like, that allow you to make the main part of the character. You then get all of the additions to be able to make the actual characters and then their clothes themselves. There's no reason why that you can't just create a whole wardrobe for all of these different characters. And as we've been saying, how much fun are you going to have if you're looking to start maybe doing some sewing going and some soft craft with the kids and grandkids. And goodness knows here in the UK over the next few weeks, you're going to have some time with the kids, potentially some time with the grandkids as well. How great to be able to get these home and start. Obviously, they're going to have their schoolwork to do, aren't they? But I think it's great to be able to do some other stuff outside of that work. You know, life skills, isn't it? Things like this, bringing, you know, other hobbies to your kids and grandkids. Yeah, what was it called? Home economics, wasn't it, back in the day? But if you've got the ability to be able to pass this knowledge down onto your kids, onto your grandkids, starting off with something which is really going to get their imagination going, something like this, then I think that is a really, really worthwhile spend today, particularly as it's a half-price deal. The Builder Buddies, 27 dies, should be £80 or £104.75. You pay just $34.99 today, or $46. Do we think that's a great buy? Yeah, they're all nodding. A fifth of the stock has already gone on those. Grab it whilst you can. Stock is flying out the door, and just to kind of reiterate on that, we mentioned earlier on that we had this gorgeous flutter fabric here. Before the show, 24 of the colours that we had sold out. I can tell you now that the chocolate, don't scream and shout, but that's now
sold out.
It has, Bernie, it's gone. We got the sky, of course, that was available just a few moments ago, but I believe, don't scream and shout, but it's now
sold out.
Gone. That's how busy we are. So we've still got the olive available, which is good news. So if you want to get it, the olive, don't scream and shout, but it's now
sold out.
It's gone. They're shouting it in the gallery as well. There we go. So if you managed to get your hands on those, well done. Flying out the door. Something else which is proving really popular, and it took my brain a little bit of time to compute. I've got to apologise if I'm a bit slow currently. I was particularly slow yesterday. I don't feel like I've warmed up much today either. But the deal on this is a ½ metre of each for that price, isn't it? $7.18. Which just took me a little bit of time earlier on to, I mean, I knew that that's what it was, but you know when you second guess yourself and you're thinking, well, hang on a minute, seriously, you're getting 3½ metres, so you're getting, first of all, this gorgeous country yard, which I absolutely love. The style of this is so on trend right now, isn't it? It's absolutely gorgeous. So you've got that within this bundle. Remember, these are normally $5.99 each, or $8.49. Here is your gorgeous country blooms. So this one is the one which you saw on Rebecca Rabbit's dress just a few moments ago. Love that with all of those different houses, the colour combinations and the florals on there. Really, really fun design. So you get ½ metre of that, and then also you're going to get your petite flowers as well. So all of that for $7.18, if I can undo it. There we go. Look at that. Fantastic. The stock again on this is dwindling very, very quickly indeed. Should be just shy of £18 or over $25. You pay $7.18 today or $10.18. Less your platinum membership. I mean, that comes down to a ridiculously low price. A third of the stock of that has already gone. So go swiftly on that if you want to get your hands on it. Now, the builder blocks, something that we're very famous for here at Crafters Companion. These again are absolutely great if you're wanting to put together beautiful blocks for your quilting and all sorts. And again, it's the kind of thing that, I don't know, potentially, well, you wouldn't, would you? You wouldn't attempt to do this sort of manually, but with the builder block system, you have got the ability and full instructions to be able to put together this beautiful pattern. And actually, you can do it 6-inch, 8-inch, and 12-inch blocks as well. It's all about kind of speeding things up for you. And if you think, because normally I think if you speed something up, that means you're going to be less accurate. But the brilliant thing about this system, again, with these dies, is that it speeds up everything for you, but you get the accuracy as well. That is the brilliant thing about the builder blocks. This is the double wedding ring. $39.99 or $50.99, saving £30 or $38.96. Definitely worthwhile going for. Perhaps we can unbox this in just a second and have a look through, but you get all of the instructions in there as well, nice and easy to do. And then you've also got, with the builder blocks, the pineapple as well. And there's so much in there. Shall I just show you what's in there? Shall I unbox it? Shall I do it? So when you get in here, it's beautifully presented as well. I love the way that these are presented as well, Bernie. They're very nicely presented because you've got your little what do you call that little drawstring there?
The little
So
pull,
little
the
pull.
little drawer pull. So it's great because then you can line them all up on your shelves at home.
Yeah.
And you've got them all safely stored away. They're not going to get damaged. And then you know exactly which ones they are as well. And you're getting that road map in there. We refer to it as the road map.
Okay.
Basically, what there is it's an image of the dies that are behind. And then it'll show you exactly what size they are. So you don't need to get your ruler out and measure them. You can just look at the picture and then match it up and say, right, well, I know I need that. Say it's that biggest triangle, top right, if that's the large one. Then you know that you're going to go to the tray and that's the one you're going to pull out. So when you look at the pattern, it tells you which pieces you want in the book, because the book, you've got the booklet with it as well, then you know exactly what you're going to cut. So I just think it's great and I love it. I love the storage element of it, because I say I have mine lined up lovely on my shelves at home with my builder blocks as well and my curves as well. You've got everything in there. So you've got lots of cutting tips in there as well, how to lay your fabric down. And that's the pineapple design there, which is a very, very traditional design. And if you go right to the back of the book, Ben, there's a surprise. Look at that. You're getting extra charts. So if you are not sure on your colours, you can use those charts. I think you get 8 in that one. You also get it in the double wedding ring one as well. So you can put in the different colours as well, and you can then decide what colour choice you want before you actually start cutting, because there's nothing worse than cutting all your pieces out and then realise that you needed 20 green, but you've only cut 10, and you needed 20 pink, but you've cut 10 and 20, the other way around, and you've got too many pieces. So by having that little grid there, I think that's great. And you can get people to design their own quilt. And then you can make it perfect.
And the thing to say with these as well, these are, Bernie, as I understand it, these are standalone, but they're then also compatible with other builder blocks as well, aren't they?
They are, because you get in both of these, you can make a 6-inch, and these are your finished size, a 6-inch block, 8-inch block, or 12-inch block. 6 and 12-inch blocks are the most common ones in patchwork, and that's why when we did started the builder block system range, we will make sure that you can always get the sizes throughout. So with builder block, starts from 3 inches all the way up to 12. Obviously with these, you're getting the 6, 8 and 12, so they will fit together with those. And the same with the curves as well. You're getting those different squares, but you're always going to get up to that 12-inch one, and then you can mix and match them and put them together. So if you want to make, a lot of people will call it a sampler quilt. Yeah. And basically what that is a mix of lots of different blocks, of lots of different, you might have seen a design online that you liked, and you made just a 12-inch block, and then you could have a couple of double wedding ring, a pineapple, you can have a little friendship star out of the builder block system, and just put choose your favourites, pop them in, and then stitch them together, and you've got a quilt. Magic, isn't it?
Well, it almost is, isn't it, to be honest with you? This is the pineapple. If you want to go for it again, £30 or $38 saving on this. Is that 30 or 39? 39, is it? 38? My eyesight's terrible. $38.96. $39.99 today, or $50.99. Again, less your 20%. That comes home even better for you. So $31.99 or $40.79 if you want to go for those build blocks. The double wedding ring again is the other one which you can go for, as we've said. Same sort of system in the fact that you get it beautifully presented in that kind of design where you can pull out the drawer, so it stores really nicely for you as well. You get all of those dies in there, a 12-piece collection, all of the instructions that you need as well to be able to make 6, 8 and 12-inch blocks. It's all about the speed, it's all about the precision. $39.99 or $50.99 is the deal on that one. Lots of lovely messages coming in. By the way, I meant to mention earlier on, we are, once again, we've started basically asking for your favourites during shows so that we can compile, basically, I suppose, a best of the week, if you like. And Eagle Eye viewers might have seen already that we've got a couple of cards behind from the shows that we had yesterday, so that we can look back at them on Sunday, on Second Chance Sunday, and remind ourselves of some of the best things from the week gone by. I know there's a poll ongoing online, actually, right now, about your favourite characters from the Builder Buddy. So if you want to get involved in that, we will crown our Builder Buddy champion at the end of the show. So you need to vote for either your cat, Chloe Cat, Digby the dog, I keep forgetting these, Ruby Rabbit, or Baxter the Bear. All right, so let us know who your favourite is on the socials, on Facebook and on YouTube, and we'll read those out as we head through the show. Questions coming in as well, but let's get started with another demo, and whilst we get working on that, I'll fire some questions Bernie's way, get her multitasking over there. But hang on a minute, you've got a bit of storage over there.
I have. So I've been busy putting my dies away. So with the builder block systems, we've got that storage box and everything in there. If you've got dies that obviously you don't have storage system for all your dies, this is a perfect idea. So this is our A5 storage. And now this is for your dies or your stamps, but actually you've got a little section in here. So you could put your pens in there.
Oh, cool.
I've got my scissors in there. So you can start this. So really, you can use this as a little portable sort of craft room, if you like, a little mini one. And what you're getting with this set, now in the bundle, you're getting 2 sets of magnetic sheets. And these are A5 in size, and they are very magnetic. They're great. So you're getting 6 in total. So I've got 5 builder block. I've got builder block on the brain, builder buddy.
Buddy, yeah.
So I've got one each, and then I've got a spare one. So I've put all of the Ruby Rabbit ones on here, but I've put all those dies on there. Look how much more room there is on there. I could get the body base on there as well. And then what you can do is keep your cardboard cutouts for for your reference. They can sit in the back. And then what happens is you're going to put all this together. It's really well made. You've got a zip all the way around there. You've got a carry handle, and my favourite part, you've got this little tab on here.
Super handy.
It's like the luggage, like you put on your luggage, so you can actually write on what's in there, so that then when you've got these then stored on your shelf next to, I've knocked Ruby over, sorry Ruby, next to your other die storage, you've got them all together, and obviously if you've got a few, you can have them all labelled up so you know what is in what. So I just wanted to quickly show you that, that's, it's a really good way of storing. I'll just open it back out because I am going to need my scissors. So there we go. So so that's my storage out the way. Right, double wedding ring. I've got to show you it. It's back here. Look at this.
Yes.
So this is one of the when people start wanting to make a quilt, a lot of people will want to make the double wedding ring because it's fantastic. The effect that you get, I mean, I love anything that has like an optical illusion to it, but I just think it's brilliant.
It looks so complicated as well.
That's the problem what people find, and these look, lots of curves.
Yeah.
So because we've got the die system here, that's going to make the curves so easy. Now I know Sarah will say herself that until she started using these, and using the glue, which I'm going to use our glue pen as well to help sew these, Sarah would never ever sew curves. Now she absolutely loves curves because you've got that, we looking after the accuracy for you. Like you were saying, Ben, the speed, the quicker you can get to sewing, the better. I think that's for all of us. I don't mind cutting out, but I do prefer to sew.
Yeah.
And sometimes the cutting out puts people off. So, and also as well, if you've got, now, years ago, when what would happen is you would get, say you got a template in a magazine or something like that and you drew around it, so you had it on a little bit of card. So every time you drew around there or cut round it, you're catching a little bit off there, and then you're making the template's not as accurate as it was.
Yes.
And also you can get acrylic templates as well. But again, you're only going to be cutting 1 or 2 at a time because you don't want to be slipping and, wasting your fabric. With these, I mean, we recommend up to 6 layers of fabric. However, depending on your fabric, you could cut 8 layers, 10 layers, or if you're using faux leather or a thicker fabric of the cork, it might only be 2 or 3 or 4 layers. Yeah. But because we've sort of done a lot of that hard work before, that's why this quilt now, the double wedding ring, and I must admit I've not made one yet, which is really bad, isn't it? That's really bad that I've not made a double wedding ring quilt. I must make a project with the double wedding ring on it, because that's the other thing, you don't need to make a quilt. You've got a bed runner there, a little table runner, Ben, haven't you, with the 3 on, and that's the smaller size. Yeah. And it just shows that it doesn't have to be a quilt. So you can use it as a panel for the front of a cushion. I mean, look, isn't that fantastic? How effective is that? and you've got a number of them there all together, and
beautifully modelled.
You've got a table runner. That was fabulously done, that, Ben.
Thank you so much. There we go. You know, I'm not just a presenter here, but also a model as well.
It's really good, really good.
Adding that to my CV. Thanks, Benny.
I'm going to cut the big size. Now, what I would do is, if I wasn't sure, say I'd get that little road map out, and I'd say, right, well, I know I want the large, so it's small, medium, and large. So I want the large corner piece. So I know it's this piece here. So I'm taking it out of there. And then we want the arc and the square and the melon bit in the middle. And if you've got daft nails like me, just use your tip of your scissors just to get them out. So if I just move that box out the way and give myself a bit more room.
Are these going through your Gemini and your Junior as well, these dies?
These will go through your Junior as well, yeah.
Great.
What it does in the book, it tells you how to lay them out on your fabric.
Yeah.
And there is a reason for that, because if you lie them out and you don't have them, on fabric, Ben, there's a grain. There's a straight of grain on the fabric. So if you've got your fabric like that, it has a little bit of stretch in it.
Yeah.
If you have it that way, there's no stretch. If you have it that way on the bias, which is the 45 degree, you see how much stretch you've got in that fabric.
Oh, okay.
So when you piece some fabric together, if you don't lay them correctly, what you may find is that you're having problems with joining your pieces together. So just double check which way you lay your fabric, and the grain line runs parallel to the selvage of your fabric.
Yeah.
So that little bit of rough bit at the end, it's usually white. That's your selvage. Your grain line runs that way, so they run parallel. So there's diagrams in the book, and you can just lay them so you can see where you're at. Now, you can see I've got a curved piece here because this is the way I was cutting it. My selvage is along here. So I'm going to get my piece, and I'm going to oh no, now if I remember rightly when I was doing this, I did it and then I thought, oh no, I need to open it out because that wouldn't have fit. So let me just cut some of that off. So this is my selvage here. And then what I need to do is make sure that my die here is parallel to that. And I say you've got diagrams in the book, so you're not going to get sort of left in the cold to be able to do it. And then I need some of my little squares, so I need 4 of them. And I need that piece, but I'll cut these 2 first. So I've put them on. Because they're quite widely spaced, I'm not going to bother taping them down. But if you are putting a lot on at the same time, then I would pop a little bit of our, you know, the low-tack tape,
yeah,
that becomes extra sticky once the pressure's got to it. So I'm going to cut these out. And I say, if I'd put my fabric, cut it a little bit smaller, I'd have got them all on in one go. But I say these will fit on the Junior as well. And I say I'm cutting, I think I've got 4 layers there of the green, and I've got 2 layers of the yellow. Sadly, both sold out. Sorry, guys.
It's all gone now.
So I was choosing before Christmas which fabric to use. And I was thinking, oh, I hope that doesn't sell out. I hope that doesn't sell out. And then, well, we've sold them all because it is a really good.
Yeah, 27.
It's a really good fabric.
Yeah.
And what it is, it's because it's a great, like a background fabric, a filler fabric. It works really, really well. All right, so, and then I've got my white here. Okay, where? And then I'm just going to cut so I need 2 corner pieces. And then the great thing about this, if you do it the same, look, you can nest them together. So you're hardly wasting any fabric. What a lot of people will say is, if I'm die cutting, I'm going to waste a lot of fabric. But you don't. It's just about careful placement.
Yeah.
Now, because I've got those quite close together, I am going to pop a little bit of tape on, because what you don't want to do is have a die cut a die, because you're going to damage your die. So you don't want to do that. So I'm just going to tape them just so they're separate. And again, my plastic shim on there, and then my other clear plate.
Just recap as well, because there's a few people asking. Well, Enchanted Craft Fair on YouTube says, great angles for the demos, good view of each sandwich setup. So there we go. I mean, we can't take credit for that. Well done to Lord Adam on the buttons. But Enchanted Craft Fair, I know you've already kind of touched on this. Adam's a lord, did you know that?
Oh, is he now?
Yeah, he's now. You have to refer to him as Lord Adam. He got bought.
Was that his Christmas present?
He got bought some land at Christmas. Was it a square foot? 1 square foot of land. So we now have to refer to him as Lord Adam.
Right.
Just to confirm that. But anyway, in case you wondered why he's walking around with like a long flowing cape and a crown on today. How thick can the fabric be running through the Gemini, says Enchanted Craft Fairy? Can lightly quilted fabric folded over be run through the machine? So I know you've sort of half touched on this already.
Yeah, so say you're cutting, we've got some bag dies on the show. Say you were cutting one of our bag dies out, and you needed your lining pieces, so you've got your cotton, and then you need some wadding as well, and the outer pieces. So I would say we recommend up to 6 layers of fabric, but depending if your fabric's a little bit thinner, you could maybe go to 8 or 10 layers if it's a poly cotton.
Okay.
But if you're cutting it, you can cut it at the same time. So say I've got 4 layers of cotton and some wadding folded over, so I've got 2 layers of wadding, that will all go through at the same time. So if you think about, if you've got fabric that's interfaced, class the interfacing layer as another layer of cotton. So if I've got 2 pieces of cotton and they both got interfacing on the back, then I've got 4 layers.
Got you.
So if you sort of do it sort of that way, but what will happen is the machine is so clever that it will tell you if it's too thick. So if you try to put, you can't force it through.
It will spit it back out, will it?
It'll spit it back out. It'll pause and then it'll return it. So all you can do then is then take another layer off and put it through. Similarly, if you've put the wrong sandwich in and you haven't got enough in there to give it any pressure, it'll just slide through because you haven't put all of your plates the right combination together.
Yep.
So I always say build up rather than
take away.
Take away.
Yeah.
I would say build up to it. So what I'll do is I'll just position these out, and I'm just going to sew one of the curves because I'm conscious. I'm conscious for time, and I know I've got. We
said this before the show, didn't we? Soft aside, the show seems to fly by, and I know you've got so many demos lined up. We've got less than an hour remaining, Bernie.
Be right. I can talk to this one. I'll show one curve just so you see how it works. I was happily making these yesterday. I was in my element because I finally did some sewing. So all over Christmas, I had these plans. I had a quilt in my head that I was going to start and hopefully make, and I was going to do loads of sewing. I did one little bit of sewing, and then the most of it was yesterday, prepping for today. So I quite enjoyed it yesterday, getting back on the sewing machine.
Do you get a lot of free time then with all of the prepping and work you have to do for Craft TV?
Not really, no, because I do a lot of teaching as well. So I teach, via Zoom at the minute. So I do classes every week as well. So I don't have a lot of free time, but my time spent doing what I enjoy. And I always say, like, if you'd asked me 5 years ago what I'd be doing in 5 years' time, I would never have said that I would be doing something like this. So that's like people who are aspiring to, to become more and get the sewing to become more of the job. It happened to me, and I used to just sit and watch TV. I used to come in the store, and it was surreal. But it just shows that it can happen. You just keep sewing and enjoy it. That's the best thing. The best thing. Right. So I've got my block all laid out. The first thing what happens is you look and think, well, that's not going to fit on there because it's too short. But because of the curve, it will. Now what happens is you put these bits actually on last. I'm going to sew this one curve on. I'm going to show you how we put them together, and then I'll show you some that I've already made up. So the first thing you're going to do is find the centre of your pieces. So I've got the centre melon bit here, and just with my nail, I'm just going to, and you're just going to mark the centre on there. And then the same on that one. And the reason why I'm doing, although I'm only going to sew one seam here, that's just habit, because I know that later I'm going to sew that other side. So I've got my 2 centre pieces marked. Okay. Now, I never know, concave or convex. I think the concave is the one that goes in, because you go into a cave, isn't it? That's it.
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
Good way to remember it, isn't it? So I always glue onto this one. Now, we've got the Sticks 2 glue pens on the show. These are perfect. However, you can also use your Kalal textile glue. So you can use actually both. But we've got them both on the show. So whichever is your preference. And all I'm going to do, if you think you're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam, so you don't want to put it too far in your fabric.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to dab the glue along the edge. And then what I'm going to do is with right sides together, let's check my head's not in the way when we go on the overhead, so I'm going to lean forward. I'm going to match up my 2 little fold points, and I'm just going to give it a little press. And that's that centre bit stuck. And then what I do is I go to one side, and I'm going to bring those edges together. Now what you can see is if I press that, now if I turn it over, we can just see a little tiny little bit of white hanging over. That's correct, because the only side we're interested in is this one.
Yeah.
And then all you're going to do is just with your finger and your thumb, just go along and just put them together. And just give them a little press, because we've put that glue on. If it goes a little bit wonky, you can just pull it apart, because it's it's just that little glue stick. It's not like a super glue that's going to bond instantly. But always match up your ends first. So I've matched that up first, and you think, oh, well, that looks a little bit strange. Because the way we've cut the fabric, it gives it a little bit of stretch, so you can ease it in. So if anyone's ever heard the term in dressmaking, there's a dressmaking term called you ease it in, like you ease a sleeve in.
Yeah.
And that's basically what you're doing, is stretch on one side for it to fit, and you ease it in gently. So that's it. We've now got that on. Now, on the sewing machine, whenever you're sewing a curve, always shorten the length of your stitch, because what you'll find is when it opens out, it's neater, and it's neater to go around the curve. You're not going to get any gapes. So, and I always sew with the excess piece on top. So the concave bit, which we had, because if you've got, this is the one where if you miss it, you could get a pleat. So if you sew with that on the bottom and you can't see, you might get a pleat in your seam.
Yep.
So if you sew with this from the top, you can control that because you can see it. So I'm just going to take that to the machine, and I'm just going to stitch this one, and then I'll show you the blocks that I've pre-stitched. There we go.
Well, whilst you're stitching, lots of lovely comments coming in. I know we'll probably come back to the Builder Buddies a little bit later on, but lots of votes coming in on those as to which is going to be crowned the favourite. Beth saying, good morning, I'm not a sewer, but thought I would check out the show anyway. Would love to learn to quilt. Beth, maybe that's going to be your New Year's resolution. Plenty of time to get going, and plenty of inspiration here, not just on the shows, of course, but also online on our website, as Bernie was chatting about a little bit earlier on. Anne on YouTube saying, Anne from County Clare in Ireland, Happy New Year to you all, Happy New Year. And Rosalind saying, sewing very relaxing, the most tedious part is pinning the patterns. But hopefully again today with a lot of the goodies that we bring to you, like these multimedia dies, like the Builder Buddies, like these builder blocks as well, it enables you to get on to doing the fun bits a lot quicker. And actually, like I said, if you are perhaps thinking about starting a brand new hobby, loads of different products on this show particularly to get you started if you want to get into your soft crafts. As I say, we'll come back to the characters a little bit later on, because lots of you voting on that. Madalena on YouTube saying, hello from Italy, and Boho Funk on Facebook saying, I've sewn for years and never thought to use a glue pen. What a great helper. So there you are. Wow, look at that. Sorry, I've just seen what you've just done there all of a sudden.
Just did a couple of minutes or so them all together. Yeah, so this is what I was enjoying playing yesterday. I'm just going to bring that one in that I stitched, just to show you the back.
Yeah.
So I'll just pop that over there just so we can see this one. So what I've done is when I've turned it over, all you can see there is an absolutely gorgeous curve. When you turn it over, now, often what will happen is it'll say press to the dark side, because you don't want your fabric underneath shown through.
Yeah.
But sometimes with a curve, it's actually better to let it fall where it wants to fall. And with a curve, it normally falls outwards. So if you try and press that inwards, you'd get little folds of fabric you'd have to cut into it. But when you press it outwards like that, and I'm going to turn one of these over so you can actually see that. There we go. We can see there that is outwards.
Yes.
And there's a little blip here, whereas when I was stitching it together, I just caught it in. But don't worry if that happens to you, it's absolutely fine, because that still presses flat. And then all the same. I mean, that one's gone better. I'll show you that one.
It's nice to see the ones where it doesn't go quite so well as well.
Yeah,
though.
that one. But you can see how nicely it goes. If you try to have all of these turned in, it wouldn't lie as flat. And what you want to do is get your blocks as flat as possible for when you're going to start stitching. And then it's up to you how you put them. Now, if you only want to make one block, you could make them that way, stitch them together, and you've got a bag front there or a cushion front.
A cushion cover, yeah.
But similarly, you're going to turn them round to make the wedding ring design. And then what happens is, obviously, when you put more on, it continues round. So this is where that booklet comes into its own, because actually I might want to do a blue ring coming off this way, so that piece I should have done blue. So that's where you've got that chart in the back of the book, which I don't know where I've put my book, but I've got it somewhere. It's hiding. That's where you can go on that chart and decide what colours you want to put where before you start sewing. Because if you've made these up and then realised that should have been blue, you've either got to make another one or you've got some unpicking to do. And to be honest, I wouldn't tend to really unpick curves very often because that fabric's stretchy, you could make the fabric quite warped. Yeah. And when you sew it back together again, it won't go as nicely together. So that is the double wedding ring. So I promise that in the next, shall we say, 2 months.
Right.
I'm going to make a project for the double wedding ring. I'm covering myself because I know I've got a busy January.
So we're going the next 2 weeks, 2 months. Yeah, it's good to give yourself a bit of breathing space. Absolutely right. But again, the point is with these builder blocks, you can see how easy it is to get crafting, to get going. Gives you the precision, as we said, gives you the speed, gives you the accuracy, and of course the opportunity to make 6, 8 and 12-inch blocks. I love it. And like we said, whether it is you're just going to make one block for, the cushion front for a bag, whether you are going to make, more blocks to make something like, a gorgeous little table runner or a runner for the bottom of the bed, or if you are going to go the whole hog and create something like a beautiful quilt, you've got the ability to do it, and all the instructions and all of the tools that you need to be able to do it within these collections. And it's a great day to buy them as well. As I said, if you've used these builder blocks before, you'll know how handy they are and how easy they are to use. To get them with a £30 or almost $40 saving is brilliant. Like Bernie was saying, you know what, New Year sales. Great sales on the website, and also some great sale items for you here as well. $39.99 or $50.99 is your deal on the double wedding ring, and we've also got that pineapple on the show for you as well if you want to go for that. Fabric-wise, I mean, you pretty much cleared us out of a lot of the fabric we had at the start of the show before we even started. We do still have, though, the Threaders Country yard half-metre bundle, but last time I think I brought this to you, we were a third of the stock. 50% of the stock has now gone. The deal again is absolutely brilliant on this because if you know your fabric, if you know the cost of your fabric, you know how expensive it can be. We're bringing you 3 half meters for just $7.18 or $10.18. So you're going to get a half meter of your country yard, which I absolutely love. Really, as I say, kind of like bang on trend, the style that you've got in these fabrics. You've then also got your beautiful country blooms, which we saw a little bit earlier on in one of the demos when Bernie was making that beautiful little dress for Rebecca Rabbit, our builder buddy. So that's included. You're going to get a half metre of that as well. And then to wrap up this bundle, so a metre and a half in total, you're then going to get your petite blooms too. Really, really gorgeous. So whether you're buying these for various projects that you've got for, ideas that you've already got in your head, maybe you've already bought the Builder Buddies and you want some fabric to be able to make the costumes for the characters, that is an absolute steal. £7.18 for the 3 half metres, so a metre and a half, normally $5.99 each. So grab those whilst they're here. As I say, it's a bit of a limited run on that. We know how much you love them. We've brought it back, but we haven't got a huge amount of stock, and of that, 50% of it has gone. $7.18 or $10.18, normally $5.99 each. If you're platinum, $5.74 for all of them, which is phenomenal. Comes down even lower, $8.14 if you're shopping with us in the States, normally $8.49 for one. So it really is a super time to be grabbing those, but get them whilst you can. Right, also on the show, These deals are phenomenal. It always makes me laugh. Producer Johnny's just got away. I just had to double check these deals actually because the prices are ridiculous. We have got your multimedia dies, all right? So once again, these are phenomenal for using in your soft craft, but right across the kind of whole spectrum of craft. We're doing 70% savings on all of these. So look at the usual price, $11.99 or $16.95, and look at the price that we're bringing them to you today for $3.59 or $5.08. We have got all of these for you, but get them whilst they are available. So first up is your decorative flower panel, absolutely gorgeous. These really are a steal, and I would imagine loads of you are going to be taking advantage of these deals right now because they're just amazing, allowing you to do things like this. So it's all about the little extra decorations, I suppose, isn't it, Bernie? And all of the kind of finishing flourishes with these, isn't it?
It is, and it just sets, if you're making to sell as well,
Yeah.
or you make and then someone looks and say, oh, where did you buy that? You know, you say, well, I made it.
Yeah.
Or if you're making to sell, it's going to be unique. Because it's going to be, you know, nobody else is going to make the item and put that panel die on there. I mean, it just makes it. I mean, if that, even that bag plain would be fabulous because I just love the colour anyway.
Yeah.
I love mustard. However, having that design on there just absolutely makes it, doesn't it? It makes it stand out. I mean, it's actually the one that's on the packaging as well, which is, you know, you're going to see that and think, I want to make that. And it's just so easy to actually do. I'm going to show you a few different ways or a few different types of fabric that you can cut through with it.
Amazing.
But there's just so many to choose from. I can only choose a couple, can't I?
Well, that's it. Run out of time as well. We've got a whole selection for you, so let's just quickly rattle through these to give you an idea. I mean, the price is just ridiculous. This is the mosaic panel, once again, $3.59 or $5.08 is the deal on that. Next up, and again, if I just show you the actual die itself, is the daisy. But again, kind of showing you the types of things you can do. Just quickly look at this. You know, I would never have thought of anything like that, but again, using the pattern to you know, decorate the bottom of the dress, and then you've got kind of the waist, as it were, if you like, also used on there too. Really, really cute ideas. That's the daisy panel, $3.59 or $5.08 if you want to go for that. Even better value. I mean, can you believe this? We're just double checking this. So normally $9.99 or $14.95. This retro panel, $2.99 or $4.48. Again, for little things like maybe, I don't know, table mats, runners, all these kind of things, just for little decorative elements for all of your projects. These are so handy. And as I mentioned at the top there, multimedia dies as well, so you can use these to cut a whole host of different materials as well. This one's a difficult one to say, your tessellating triangle panel. Wow, you don't want to get that one wrong, do you? $3.59 or $5.08 once again. 70% savings on those right across the board. If budget stretches, I would get all of those into your basket because it just gives you so much scope, doesn't it? And as I say, again, not just in your soft craft either. 70% savings across the board. Let's have a look at some of these then in action. Which ones are you going to choose?
Well, I've got a couple of samples here that I've got out. This is the mosaic one. I mean, look at this. And this is faux leather with faux leather behind as well. But you could use fabric behind. You could use a cork fabric. You can use glitter fabric, which is what I'm going to use. And then it's lined in... Oh, it's a wallet. I was thinking it was like a little bag.
I thought you found some money in there for a minute, Bernie. The way you were going, ooh.
I'll check the pocket. No, it's empty.
Nothing.
That's the thing, is if you give a person a wallet for Christmas, you have to put some money in, and then for good luck, you'll always have money. Yeah. If you put the money in, my mum always does that.
How much is it normally? It's normally a penny when I get a new wallet.
Yeah, or 5p or something. Yeah. So if you leave that in, it's always going to have money in, isn't it? I think my mum was winding us up there. And then these are the retro ones. I think these look very, depending on the colours used, they look very like tribal, don't they? You know, and a sort of animal print sort of style. But then if you use a different colour, you know, you're going to get a totally different look as well. So I think they're just absolutely great. So, I think I'm going to do the mosaic one. I'm going to do the mosaic one first. Let's have a look. So I've got some here. I've got some different fabrics. I've got some faux leather. I've got some of our glitter fabric, which is quite tough. And then I've got some of our corks. I know we've got, if we've got any left, we've got cork on the show today.
We have.
So I'm going to show you how we cut through those. Now, the other thing this will cut, and I apologise, I forgot to bring it and I've left it on my table at home, is I've got fabric that I used our fabric, the spray, the stabiliser spray. So you spray it on, your fabric's saturated, you let it dry, you iron it, and when it goes cool, it turns it into paper. Absolutely perfect for these. And I had, actually, it was the petite little one as well that I had, and it's on my table at home. So I knew when I was setting up today, I was like, I forgot something. And then I remembered that's what it was when I was setting up the dye.
We'll let you off this once, Bernie.
Thank you,
That's all right.
you. Right, so I've got my mat here. Now, don't worry if if your mat does end up looking like a road map of Britain. I think that's a brilliant description, how Sarah describes it, but it's right. It will still cut, and you twist and turn. Flip and turn, keep turning them, and I always forget. Oh, I haven't even opened this one. Let's do another one. I haven't opened that one. Which one shall I do? Let's do the daisy.
All right.
Because that dress is gorgeous. Do you know when you were holding that dress up, Ben, it's actually the same colours as your outfit today.
Oh, yes. Well,
so you're blending in.
Hey? It's just a little bit too small.
Little bit. But isn't that a brilliant idea, that you're not just making a bag or something, you're actually making clothes with it as well. It's just fantastic. So I've got some faux leather here. I'm going to cut a couple of layers of that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put this on any which way. I'm just going to put the dye on. Again, it's just your normal multimedia sandwich.
Yeah.
So you clear plate, your metal shim, you fabric, whatever you're cutting into, your dye facing down, your plastic shim, and your other clear plate. Oh, and I just want to say thank you earlier. You read a comment. Oh, I apologise, I can't remember the lady's name, that was saying that she was enjoying my demonstration. So thank you very much. That was really sweet.
Oh, was it one that I read out earlier?
It was nice. I can't remember who it was. I'll go back through the comments anyway later on, and I'll...
Somebody said earlier on about how good your demos were. Who was it? Was it Pamela? Saying you're a fantastic teacher.
That was it, yes.
Thank you.
Pamela.
I'm a total beginner. I've owned a sewing machine
Pamela.
for years. I already read this out, but I'll read it out. Fishing for compliments over there, you see. That's what it is. I'll do it again, though. I'll do it again. Bernie got a message from Pamela here, which says, Bernie, you are a fantastic teacher. Thank you. I'm a total beginner. I've owned a sewing machine for years, but was too timid to even try to use it. You have a way about you that takes the intimidation away. That is from Pamela on Facebook.
That was the one. Thank you, Pamela.
I know. I'm only pulling her leg as well, but our Bernie is brilliant. Always explains things brilliantly. Demos are always brilliant. So yes, very well deserved. Keep those comments coming in, by the way. We'll read out any more questions as well before the end of the show. And when we come back to those Builder Buddies a little bit later on, I'll let you know how the voting is going. We're asking for your favourite. Who's your favourite Builder Buddy character? And we'll do that at the end of the show. Right, so we're with the decorative daisy, aren't we, currently?
Yes, so what I did, I used my dye brush to get the bits out of my dye, and then I thought, I'll use that on the faux leather, but you don't want to be using a brush really on the faux leather. So you can go in with a pin or just sit and take all these little pieces out. I'll not take them all out, I'll do the one side. But like you were saying, Ben, there's no waste, because all of these are all little miniature little hearts. So you could actually, if you cut one out of another colour, you could paper piece them back in. But I mean, they're just fantastic, aren't they? The way they cut, it's just brilliant. And I say then you can then add that onto a project. You can also use them in your card making as well. There's no stopping you using them in your card making. Look at all this mess I'm making here, right? So that's my faux leather. So let's go in with the glitter and show the glitter fabric as well. And then I thought I'd make a bag, Ben, using the cork and the panel dies, and wait till you see what I've discovered. And it probably isn't new, but when it happened yesterday and I discovered it, I was so excited with my bit self.
Was it a bit of a eureka moment?
Yeah. Or maybe a light bulb moment that I should have thought about it already, but and so when you see me do it, you'll feel free to message in and say that you already do that.
Oh no, don't do that, because Bernie was very excited earlier on when she told us about this thing that she's going to share. So if you already thought of it, don't email in, because that'd be mean, wouldn't it?
I don't mind. So here we go. I mean, look how easy. Oh, look at that. I see, you just poke all your little bits. I mean, most of them are coming out just rubbing them with my fingers, but if you need to just get your pin in there just to poke those out. But if I just put that onto there, you can see, and again, all of these little pieces, you're going to possibly keep, or pop in the bin. Are these small enough for shaker card pieces?
You know what, I was going to say that
possibly.
A minute ago. Potentially.
Look at me getting paper crafting again.
Depends how big your card is.
Yeah.
But always worthwhile keeping. That's one thing I've learned in my time here, is that there's never any waste, and stuff which you might not use today, you probably use another day.
Exactly. And you just take that little centre one out of there. So say that's the daisy one I've done there. But they are just absolutely brilliant. And like I say, you can do it on your card as well.
Yeah.
So anything that you want to decorate, and then you can put if you want to put like a fluorescent pink behind there would look amazing, wouldn't it? It would look really fab. Or you can have something more subtle, just something to back it with. So that's that one. So let me move on my little bit. I'll be getting wrong today, making a mess in the studio.
No, that's the new rules as well, isn't it? Particularly now we're in the new studios, you've got to make sure that you tidy up after yourselves.
Not to make a mess.
You don't want to be one of the first people to make a mess, and
who's on at 4 o'clock?
Sarah's in at 4. Whoa.
Get the sweet brush ready for us.
That's it. When she comes in the studio, she has a white glove on and she walks around like this, just to check it. Yeah. To be honest with you, she is probably. I've got to be careful what I say. She's probably one of the more messier crafters, potentially.
I'll make sure. I always tidy up after myself, I do. Right, so with the cork one, I'm going to use this. So this was the flower? Yeah, this is the flower, decorative flower one. And this is the one that's on that mustard bag that you've got, Ben. So I'm just going to get my bag die sorted.
There we go. So that is your flower panel. Again, just to reiterate, those prices are correct that you're seeing on screen right now. If you like all 5 of these, by the way, producer Johnny's just got his calculator out. £17.35 or $24.08. If you're platinum, here we go, £13.87 for all, or $19.82 for all. And when you consider these are priced at $11.99 or $9.99, that is huge value for money. I expect the phone lines will be going crazy now with that deal. Producer Johnny doing the maths. It's like Carol Vorderman he is in the studio. Right. It did take him about 15 minutes to work that out with his abacus. He was trying to work it. Anyway, Benny, sorry.
I wanted to be Carol Vorderman on Countdown.
Did you?
Because I love numbers. Oh. I love numbers. So I always wanted to do the Countdown thing. I won't do the tune.
Are you good at it when they do the numbers on Countdown? Yeah. Oh, you are?
Yeah, I'm a bit of a mathematician, yeah. Wow. I love maths, yeah. I don't know if that's what drew me more into like the quilting side as well, because of all the angles and the working out and everything. I love doing that. I know the ladies that come to my classes think I'm really sad. they like it that I do that for them, so they don't need to work all that out. I'll work it out and then just let them know what they need to do. So they absolutely love it. So right, so another thing we've got on the show is our bag dies. Now, to have some staple bags or patterns, or in this case dies, are really good, because this is an ideal one for if you're making a quick gift for someone. So if you want to make sort of a quick makeup bag or a toiletry bag for someone, or you're making for fairs. I know obviously we've just had Christmas, but you may be making for Easter or spring fairs, or even starting early for next Christmas. Having the dies are absolutely brilliant, because it's taken out any element of worry, or that accuracy is there for you. So I'm going to actually do the round clutch bag with the tassel on. So I'm sure I brought one here. Yes, I brought one here. So I'm going to be making one of these, but I'm actually going to make it in the cork. So because we've got the 3-pack of cork fabric on the show, we've got the forest green. I've got them here, which is this one. So that's the forest green. And then we've got the brown. Is it just chocolate?
Yeah, we've got Oxford blue,
chocolate.
dark chocolate.
Wait, there's lots of chocolate on the show today, Ben. I've got rid of it all after Christmas. And then we've got the Oxford blue as well, which I absolutely, if I have to pick one out of the 3, I think the blue one, I think it's got to be my favourite. Now, but you don't need to pick because you're getting the full set.
You are.
So I'm going to
$30,
use the green.
Okay.
Right. So, and I'm also going to use that panel die as well. So let me do that bit first. What I thought I would do is when I make my bag, I'm going to have my panel decoration on the flap of the bag. So the rest of it will be all of the cork and then the section on there. But you're going to look and say, oh, well, hang on, Bernie. Oh, I can't pick it up. Hang on. I'm going to go around the table. That you've got one. I need it to go all the way along. I want it to fill it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you my little top tip on how to do it. So the first thing you're going to do is cut out your flap. So with these bag dies, what happens is you're getting them with an open end, which means you're cutting them on the fold. So your fold your fabric is here. And again, you're getting instructions on the back on how to actually make the bag. They're all on the packaging as well. And we've got this little bit here that's going to cut the little tassel out. So I'm going to cut out the flap first. So normally you'd need a lining piece, which I'm going to use the petite florals because I think that's really pretty, and I think it goes quite well with the green.
Yeah, it does.
It's very nice and subtle.
Yeah.
Nothing like bright fuchsia pink that I was talking about before. Something you want a little bit subtle. So I've got my 2 layers of that, which I'm going to have. And the reason I've got 2 layers is because I need a layer behind, don't I? So if you remember, when you're cutting this top bit out, you need something behind for it to pop. And we don't want to see the wrong side of the other fabric. So I've got 2 layers of that, and then I've got my cork fabric. So I've got 4 layers of fabric here, and I'm folding this cork over, so I've got 2 layers of cork. That's quite thick. But hey, it's our Gemini, so we know that it's going to be absolutely fine. What I just want to make sure is that I get my design going the correct way, because I don't want my little petite flowers upside down. Do I want it that way? No. So this is the thing to think about. If you know you're going to have your flap is going to be sort of this way on.
Oh, I see, yeah.
You can see you know you want them to face the other way.
Got you.
So I'm going to line that up. Now, normally, I should really stick this down, but I'm just going to be brave and go for it. Got that folded the right way. There we go.
It'll be fine.
Go. Yeah, I was doing this in slow motion, so it doesn't move.
I
do that at home.
Well.
I'm on my own as well. I'm at home, and I do it slow motion because you think if I move it dead slow, it's not going to move. Because there's nothing worse than a die moving and you wasted your fabric. So it does pay to use a little bit of tape. But I'm being brave live.
I'm worried for you now.
It's probably not the best time to do it live on air, is it? Being brave.
Oh, she got away with it though.
I've got away with it. Right, so there's my die. So do you think it's gone through all of that?
Yeah. Yes.
No problem at all. There we go. Right, so I've got my 2 layers there. Now, this is where I've got my bag flap. Now, I want to put this decoration on. I'm not going to open that up. I'm going to leave that folded. And then now, this is where I worked out yesterday that I was like, why have I never done that before? I'm leaving it folded, and I'm going to place my panel die on. I'm going to line it up with this folded edge here, so I know it's going to be equal. Because I've got it lined up there, I know that that's going to be equal. When I open that up, I'm going to have 2.
Yes.
Perfect, symmetrical. Absolutely perfect. I thought, why have I never thought about that before? Essentially, I was thinking I'd cut one and then reposition it back on the fabric, which is what you can do if you might want, like on the bottom of the daisy dress, you would cut one and then reposition the die on the faux leather and recut it.
Yeah.
But with this one, because I want it bang on centre, I don't have to get my ruler out. and mark it, and then I still might measure it wrongly. So I'm just going to go through and I'm just going to cut through them. Now, I love that noise.
That is quite satisfying, isn't it?
That telling you that it's working. Yeah. And that's because it's going through a more compacted fabric.
Yeah.
So it's going through that cork fabric. Wait, you see this? Honestly, I was so excited with myself. I told everyone, I said, look what I found.
If you've already thought of that, by the way, please don't message in and say what you had.
I don't mind if you do. If you do that already, please tell me. Please. So I'm going to turn it over. When you see on the other side, you can see how well it's actually cut. Now, these look like little hearts as well. Or they could look like little tulips. So I'm just going to peel this back. Oh, look, it's so satisfying. Look at it.
Oh, yes.
It is so satisfying. There we go. Get that bit out. Have I got them all out? 2 little bits. Hang on. Get that. Oh, look. It just a bit excited there. There we go. There we go. And we're going to keep all them bits. They look like little Pac-Man things. Little Pac-Man.
Oh, Pac-Man.
Pac-Man.
Oh, yeah. I used to love that game.
Little things. Some people won't remember that, Ben, but we can, can't we?
Well, certainly, yeah.
And look at that.
That's
if I turn it over the other way, you'll see even better on the other side. That is absolutely perfect. And that is bang on symmetrical. So you're not going to have it any more symmetrical than that, than doing it that way. And then, oh, where have I put my linings? Oh, I've hid them there.
Underneath your plates, yeah, there you go.
So then, how are we doing for time? I've got for time, right. So I've got this one here. So this is my other lining piece that I put. And then what you're going to do is you can pop that on the top of there, and that will now become one piece. So to make it become one piece, we've got our glue. So I've got another little top tip here for doing the glue. Put your pieces together, like that. Now, I know we've got our clips on the show.
We have 100 for 40.
Yeah, love it. That's like, I've got, how many have I got here? Did I bring?
Don't you dare start counting them all.
I've only got 50. So you're getting twice as much as that. You're getting twice as many as them.
Wow.
These are great. You can't have enough clips.
No.
You really can't. I've got a proper messy...
Details.
I was nice and tidy when I started.
I know. Details coming up for you here. So you're getting 100 for 40. Is that right? Yeah, 100 for 40. Bonkers, right? £20 or $27 should be, what, $59.90?
I thought you meant 100 for £40.
No, 100 for the price of 40.
For the
yes,
price
I should be
of
clear
40.
with what I'm saying. 100
right.
for £20, which is what you should pay for 40. Amazing value for money. So yeah, and you should never be without those because they're very super handy.
In all walks of life.
In all walks of life.
Whatever you do, when you can use your clips. So what I've done is I had it the correct way how I want to see it. I've flipped it over, kept it lined up, and what I've done is I've clipped half of it, okay? And then I'm going to flip this lining back, because what we're going to do is put a little bit of glue on here, and then we're going to lay this down. So had I not clipped one side, I could put the glue on there, and then I'm trying to match this piece up, and you could get it a bit skew with. So if you clip half of it and roll it back. Now, funnily enough, that's how I tend to, when I'm layering up a quilt, I'll have half of it there, I'll bring half of it back, spray me stick and spray on the wadding, and then put it back and smooth it over. So this is where I'm using that same sort of technique, if you like, but in bag making. So you can see how it, you know, little techniques that you use in one, you can cross over into your other areas. So I'm going to use the collal, and what I'm going to do is, I don't need a lot of this, I just want it to hold, because I'm going to be stitching it together anyway. I don't want to squeeze this too much in the... Oh, if I don't, I think my end dried up. Yeah, there we go. Up.
Oh!
Up, there we go.
We just about got away with it. There we go.
There we go. I've probably put a bit too much on. But what you want to do is just put little bits in between on the wider pieces. So you don't need to put it on all the thin pieces, because it's just going to hold it in place. And I've probably put a bit too much on there, so it's going to gunge out a little bit. So, oh, I don't want to take them out yet. And then I tend to put it away from me like that, come from this end, and I'm going to go like that and just roll it on.
How long does that take to dry?
It's, I think it'll say overnight for a full, oh, I'm reading the, that's not English.
I was very impressed that you were reading it and translating it.
Yeah, I think it might have been, oh, I don't know. Don't know what language that is. I can only read English.
Is it? Yeah, find the English on there.
Maybe German, actually. Yeah, I think it's German. Anbringen? Yeah, German.
German, yeah, definitely. That sounds German.
So it is allowed to completely dry.
Yeah.
So it doesn't give you a time. But I would say overnight. It'll be solid dry. But for a tacky dry, that's fine now. And then what you're going to do then is take your other clips out. We'll turn it back round. And now we know that's stuck. We know when this lies down, it's going to be exact. And then put a little bit. That's what I meant to do before, just little bits.
We've got the glue on the show, don't forget. Lots of other goodies. Check the website, because there's loads on there. And there's, Bernie was alluding to a little bit earlier on, we've got the sale on there as well. But if you've wanted to pick up any of these goodies, there you go. Details at the bottom of your screen there for the Collal. 100ml for $2.99. A UK-only deal, though, sadly. If you're in the US, that one's not applicable to you. But $2.99 for all of our UK viewers. Very handy to have.
Brilliant. So I've got my back ready, and say I just want this to be quite subtle. I don't want it to be bold, but I say you can go either or. So I'm going to make the bag flap now. So this is now one piece of fabric. So you're just treating it as one piece of fabric.
Yeah.
So to make the bag flap, so I'm going to put the two right sides together. Again, I'm going to use them clips. So they are invaluable. And I'm just going to sew a 1/4-inch seam all the way around. Okay. Apart from the top bit, because that's where we're going to turn it through. And again, I'm going to shorten my stitch because I'm going around a curve. Because normally when you're sewn through cork, just sew your normal 2.5 stitch length. Whatever your machine when you switch your machine on, if it's a computerised one, it'll set to the standard size. Yeah. Sometimes with cork, you might need to lengthen your stitch a little bit if you're going through a few layers. So that's absolutely fine. You know, just do what your machine's letting you do. Because your machine will tell you if it's not liking what it's going through. Yeah. If it starts to really thud, it might just be that it needs a new needle. Or it could be that it's thudding because it's going through a lot of layers. Yeah. So just because it's thudding, think about how many layers you're going through. It may not need a new needle. So say I'm just going to stitch all the way around there. All right.
Lots of lovely messages still coming in. I've hardly got to any of these today, but Enchanted Craft Fairy saying, I'll be watching this back, busy morning. I see the double wedding ring being assembled, note added to Traveller's Notebook. Will, aka the Crafty Crafter, says, hello, I'm crocheting whilst I watch, but there's some lovely fabric. I can see that going quickly. Yeah, it all went, didn't it? Pretty much, all of it. And lots of chat still about those builder buddies. Lakieta saying, hello at work, but watching and agree the buddies are a great way to keep the children busy. As a mum of 8, all are crafters, but only a few of the children sew, and this is great for them. Yeah, we'll recap on those as we head towards the end of the show. And one more here from Anne on YouTube. Who says, I have a sewing machine and haven't used it for over 10 years. Bernie's really inspired me to take it out again. Got builder blocks for Christmas and can't wait to use them. You are a great teacher, Bernie. Lots of Bernie love today.
Oh, thank you.
There we go.
So, well, I thought, so lots of love deserves another top tip. She'll give you another top tip. Right, so I've now stitched that round. We're now on a curve. So whenever you've stitched a curve, like in the double wedding ring, we pressed it over to one side. When you're making a 3D item, basically what you're going to have is a curve there that you can't press to one side, so you need to trim it. And because we're going to turn this through, there's a couple of different ways to do it. My personal way that I prefer to do is I prefer to trim it quite close to the stitching. Yeah. Now to do that, I'll tend to use my bigger scissors. Okay? Now, if you're if you prefer to clip into your curves, which you can as well, it does the same job, I wouldn't use your big scissors for that. Use your little scissors because you've got more control. So all I'm doing is clipping. Now I'm clipping quite close to the stitching, but not right to the stitching. If you accidentally clip into your stitching, it's not the end of the world. Please don't worry. Just go back to your machine and just stitch it a little bit closer in. So I'm just clipping those round. Now when you get to the straight bit here, you can stop clipping because you don't need to do anything. But what that's doing is, it's when you turn it through, it's giving the fabric somewhere to go and spread out or scrunch together neatly and as flatly as possible. So I've trimmed that side or clipped that side, whichever preference for you. And then I'm turning it through. Now, I'm just turning it through carefully because if you remember, we've done that panel die cut. And we just want to turn it through nicely. And because we've glued it down, it hasn't moved. And this glue stays in up to 40 degrees. So if you are using it on anything, if you're washing anything at 30 degrees, it's absolutely fine. Like Ben was saying, there is a lot of other glues on the website. I mean, we've got our stick and spray, which is the temporary adhesive, or we've got the orange can, which is the one for applique that you can iron and that stays permanent even when you've washed it. So I've got all of this on here. Now can we see here, we've got this little lip coming down here. Now what's the reason why that happens is it isn't, don't worry and think you've sewn it wrong. What it is because we've got a thicker medium on the top, we've got the cork and we've got cotton underneath. And what that little bit is there, it's the rest of that cork underneath pushing it back. So this is where you just need to press, give it a press and it will lie flat. So I'm just going to give it a little press with my nail for now. Now you can top stitch all the way around here. Obviously for time today, I'm just going to finger press it. There we go. So if I finger press there, you can see already the improvement there. You can see there with the done. So don't think you've done it wrong, because I think sometimes what happens is, you'll do something and think, oh, well, I've done it wrong, so I'm not going to do it again. But actually, you haven't. It's just something, it's the way the fabric sort of works, if you like. So I'm just going to quickly cut the outside of the bag. I've already stitched the line and ready, because I knew I would run out of time, because I always do. I just like to cram so much in, Ben. I get so excited.
I think did you tell me you had about 5 or 6 demos lined up, and I've lost track where we're up to now. We're on to number 4.
I think we're on number 4, yeah.
So we nearly got there.
We had
We've
number 4. So my other one was just a little one, so that was okay. So what I'm doing here is I'm folding the fabric separately because I want to cut. Oh, am I going to get through 4 layers of cork? Ooh.
Do it.
We'll see. So the outside bag, and again, it's all there for you. This bag even has little darts in. Now I am going to put a little bit of tape on here. If I turn that round, and I'm just making sure I tape this down because I've got a feeling this might move. So you could cut one at a time, like 2 layers at a time, but has ever been a rebel, and let's see what happens.
Nothing like trying it out on live TV as well.
Well,
Bernie,
you know,
Why
nobody's
not?
watching.
Just give it a go.
Let's go.
Whilst we're crossing our fingers. Eleanor says, really enjoying watching all the things being made today. Haven't done any sewing in a while. Sarah on Facebook saying, really enjoying the demos, Bernie. Thank you for sharing your tips and tricks with us. And Eleanor saying, I'm really learning a lot from the show today. I really like it a lot. Thank you for all the lovely comments. Lovely to have you getting in touch with us on Facebook and YouTube. That's what we're here for, and it's great to be able to bring all of these demos to you. Has it worked?
Oh, I don't look, Ben, I don't look. Let's peel my tape off. Yeah,
Oh,
so,
dear.
Oh, look.
How many layers is that?
So I've got 4 layers of
4
cork here. Let's have a look. Oh, well, a tiny little blip there. And a tiny little blip there.
Literally the tiniest of threads.
Forgive me, 2 little blips. It's like the tiniest of thread there.
I will let you off that as well, I think.
The tiniest of thread there.
Yeah.
That's it. So there, it's cut. It's cut the 2 outside of the bags. So I'm gonna whiz through. I'll I'll get shouted at me now because I'm going to say I'm going to try and do these little bits here. But I don't know how many minutes I've got left. This is just a little dart in the bag. So you've got a little bit of a V in there. And all that does, it just gives a little bit of shape to the bag. So this is where you're adding extra things to your bag making. So you could do it plain, make a plain bag. But if someone else has made one the same, you know, but by putting the darts in, it just gives that little bit of shape. So let's quickly sew these. I say I have done the lining already.
All right.
So I'm just going to sew these, Ben.
Yeah, worth just reminding you of the bag dies that you're going to get. This one that Bernie's demoing is the round clutch bag and tassel set as well. So details on the screen for that, $14.75 or $20.75. All the details that you need included on the back, and of course you get all of those dies to be able to cut through. As we've seen, lots of different materials as well. But huge saving, of course, on all of them. 40% saving on those. We've got the scallop clutch bag and flower set, the hobo bag, and the tote clutch bag as well, all allowing you to make just amazing bags. I love these. And it's like Bernie was saying, you know what, once the world does get back to normal, you know, these are the kind of things that, you know, you can have on your craft store, the kind of things that you can obviously make to sell. But how nice as well to be able to, you know, make your own bags, make your own clutch bags. And I don't know if it's ever happened to you where you've gone out and you've had like the same top on as somebody. Do you know what I mean? And Bernie's nodding over there. But with things like this, it allows you to create something which is totally unique to your character. And again, you know, with making these bags, it may well be that you love your bags, but you know, you've gone out to buy them in the shop. You can never find one perhaps which is done quite in the style that you like, or you know, quite in the colour palette that you like. When you've got these, you can create it to look exactly how you want it to look. And that's the point, isn't it, Bernie? It's total personalisation, I suppose.
It is. And if you've got an outfit as well, so just thinking of if you say you were going to a wedding and you had your outfit and you are looking all over for matching shoes and bag. Yeah. You find the shoes.
Yes.
Can't find the bag.
No.
So you make your own. So you've got, you know, if you've got the same, if you've made your outfit as well, absolutely fabulous, that you can, you know, make and match it to it. Or, you know, you can go and find, you've probably got more chance of finding a matching fabric and then make your own. Absolutely fantastic. And I think as well, it's quite common now to give presents in a bag as a gift.
Oh, yeah.
So instead of, you know, we all trying to be that little bit more environmentally aware,
yes,
if that's the right phrase, you know, if you've got a fabric bag that you've actually made and gave to someone, you know, then they're going to love it even more because it's like two presents as well.
It's a gift that keeps on giving, isn't it?
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Right, so I've got the outside of the bag done. I've done the line. Excuse all my threads. And I've already done the lining as well. So I'm just going to, which way on? Turn it through. So you can turn it through or you can turn your lining through, whichever I like to put my lining on the outside because that's where my hole is, where I'm going to turn it. So
that cork fabric's lush, isn't it?
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
And
the thing is, I've put no wadding in here. So I know now, actually, I was going to mention this, Ben. I've just remembered. So the other day, there was a lady on, I was sewing in with Crafters Companion group on Facebook. There was a lady put a comment on about what wadding to use or interfacing to use with our bags. So it's actually whichever one you prefer, depending on how rigid or structured you want your bag. So with cork, you don't actually need any wadding or interfacing because it's quite rigid anyway. But then if you've got a very lightweight fabric and you want it as a makeup bag, you might want it quite soft. Oh, I've turned that through, I don't need to. You might want it quite soft. So there are a lot, you know, you can get fusible fleece, which is nice in bags because it gives it a little bit of loft, but not too rigid. Or you might want to use the foam, if you've got any of our foam interfacing or stabiliser. You know, and it just depends what style of finished bag you want. So if you think about where you want to finish and then sort of work back from there. Right, so I'm going to clip this. Whether I've got time to sew it round is another thing. But this is why you want lots of clips.
That's it. Well, do you know what? Whilst we recap at the end of the show, you could continue sewing, and then at the end of the show, we could then show the final bag. Just an idea, maybe. We've got about 5 minutes to go. Yeah?
Perfect. Oh, 5 minutes is no time. I'll get it done in no time.
All right then, well let's leave you stitching all that together and let us recap these bag dies, because I tell you what, they are absolutely brilliant. And again, you've seen just how usable they are, even if you are someone who has never used them before. So simple. Details on your screen now for the round clutch bag and tassel set, $14.75 or $20.75 if you want to go for that one, saving $10.24 or $14.20. We've got the tote clutch bag and bow set. Again, these all come with full instructions for you, all detailed on the back. $14.75 or $20.75. There you go, all the details that you need down the back here. You've then got your hobo bag and flower set again, which is just gorgeous. You get a bit of an idea on the front there as the kind of thing that you can make, but of course you've got the ability to personalise these to exactly the taste that you want. And then you've got the scallop clutch bag and flower set. Once again, $14.75 or $20.75 available individually. That is that one right there. Simplicity, isn't it, really, making these together. We've also got on the show the Builder Buddies. Right at the start of the show we were featuring these guys, but basically what you're going to get in this collection is 27 dies. So you get the main set, which creates the body of each character, and then you get 4 further sets which allows you to create the actual character itself with their little costumes as well. So within this collection, which is a half-price deal by the way, you're going to get Chloe Cat, you're also going to get Digby the dog, you've got Ruby Rabbit, and then you've also got Baxter, who is the bear. So each of them, as I say, you've got all of the dies to be able to, make the actual characters, make the actual clothes as well. So love the fact that you can, make these male or female. The fact that you can make your own little wardrobes for each of the characters too, and each of the characters come with their own little accessories as well. Like your dog, for example, he comes with a little bone, which I think is really cute. And just to give you a bit of an idea, I know you know this already, but you've got Baxter Bear there, but there's no reason why Baxter Bear can't become Bernie Bear. And as I said, you can change all of those outfits around as well. So simple to do. And as we saw at the top of the show, yes, you're going to be making these characters, but then again, with the dies themselves, you can use them as little applique pieces, whether you add them to clothes, whether it be you use them in embroidery, whether you're using them maybe to create it's like a little table setting, whatever it might be. There's loads of scope with these, and for half price today, amazing. $34.99 or $46 is the deal on this. We've been asking for you to name your favourite character, which we will reveal in just a few moments' time. Johnny's got his abacus out again, so we'll just ask him to tot up the votes. But before we do that, who wants to see some of these characters in a bag?
Yay! Look, I've got Ruby and Chloe in a finished bag.
Love it.
Just a little bit of top stitching. I'm just going to take them out, sorry girls, and just put my... Look at that. Now, how quick was that? And with that extra decoration on there as well, we just need a little fastening on there, stitch the hole up in the lining, and that is fantastic. I just think that these dies are amazing because you can just make something so quickly and look fabulous. And you know what I was saying about those darts, can you see how it just gives that shape on the bottom? It's not a flat bag. Yeah. It just gives that shape. So that's absolutely fantastic. So I'm quite happy with that, Ben.
That's gorgeous. One quick question on that as well. Anne was saying, how many pieces of the cord does it take to make this bag?
Well,
roughly.
Where's my little bit left? So, including a bit for the tassel, I had, because I made a one just in case I went wrong. I had that much left out of one piece. So you're getting one bag plus some extra left as well.
Wow, okay.
Out of one piece. So there's definitely plenty to make the bag with. And then your half a metre is going to go on for ages.
Absolutely.
Because you're getting loads.
Yeah, and the cork, of course, is available on the show. You've got your forest, you've got your Oxford blue, which is Bernie's favourite, and then you've got your dark chocolate as well. If you want to go for that collection, £30, £46 for that collection, saving $14.97 or $19.97. Right, just before we say thank you to Bernie, thank you for all your votes coming in as to who your favourite character is. We've been asking for your favourite demos, your favourite characters, so that basically we can have our kind of, I don't know, walk of fame, if you like, of demos with some of your favourite demos from the week. And then we can recap on them all on Second Chance Sunday. The favourite character from this collection is Digby the dog. Yeah, there he is. He was voted as your favourite. So there he is. Digby will join the two cards just behind me on the shelf as the winner in this show. He's very cute, actually. He's very cute. Can I keep the other four?
I'm back in on Sunday, so you can keep them till Sunday.
Yes. Bernie, thank you so much. When are we seeing you on Sunday? At 1 o'clock?
So Sunday on Create and Craft, early morning.
Yeah.
I can't remember what time it is. It might be 7:30, but it's an early one. And then I'm back, a softer side, at 1 o'clock next Tuesday.
Excellent stuff. Well, listen, always educational. We've absolutely loved it. Thank you so much. Great to see you back here at Crafters TV Towers. Bernie, we'll see you then. I will see you in around about an hour's time. I've stopped playing with these fun little characters. We've got a brilliant launch party coming up. Me and Sarah at 4 o'clock. We will see you then. Bye for now.